Hey, what is up, guys? It's Brendan here, and today we're going to be taking a look at 6 of the best Shopify alternatives and competitors when it comes to building out an online store and an e-commerce store for your small business. So that's what we're going to be diving into here in today's video. Again, 6 of the best Shopify alternatives and competitors, because I get that not necessarily everybody wants to either fork out the monthly cost that comes with Shopify, or maybe you just want a little bit more flexibility, or even some completely different features that Shopify frankly either just doesn't have, or maybe you find that their apps can be a little bit expensive. Maybe you're looking to save money again, or maybe you even just want totally completely features that are just different from Shopify completely. So that's what we're going to be diving into here in today's video. Of course, before we dive into things, of course, I do want to mention, if you do want to check out any of the companies mentioned here in today's video, there will be links linked down below in the video description, some of which are affiliate links, which is a great way to help out and support the channel. And without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into the number one spot, which we have Square. Now, hands down, Square is one of the best companies when it comes to processing payments in person, and they do also offer online e-commerce stores. So I figured I would put them high on this list because they are a very popular solution for processing payments, whether it be in person or online. And a lot of companies do actually use Square, especially for those people who are maybe in the restaurants or the retail or beauty or services industry. It's kind of their niches here that they have in terms of the different types of industries that they service. Now, I get a lot of people on Shopify or looking for Shopify stores are more so probably in that retail space, but even if you aren't, maybe if you are a service-based business or a beauty salon or something like that, or even a restaurant, Square definitely can, in some cases, even be completely better than Shopify. It just depends. Now, in terms of the overall cost, you're definitely going to be spending less on Square. We'll get into the pricing of each of these different companies just a little bit, just to kind of dive in and give you sort of a surface level overview of each of these different companies. Again, if you do want to read more or check out more about them, there are links down below in the video description. Now, with Square, they do primarily focus and cater to people that are going to be needing point of sale hardware, which is a point of sale system. Is essentially what you see here is a register. I get a lot of people with Shopify or maybe just need an online store. Now, you can also get an online store with Square. You don't necessarily need to purchase any of their point of sale hardware for your business. You don't necessarily need to go that route, but I figured I would mention that as well because Shopify does also offer point of sale hardware. So I figured that's a good point of comparison there as well with Square, that both of them do have that available. Now, in terms of the pricing with Square, you can get started completely for free with them, and there is no trial period or anything. It is just a regular free pricing on their free plan. Now, you're going to be paying processing fees just like you would with any sort of credit card processing rate for your business, but you do also have the ability to actually build out an online store. Now, it's not necessarily as dynamic as Shopify's online store builder, but if you're looking for something that you can get started with for a lot less money, then Square's online store builder is frankly still quite good. And you can get started for free, and you're just going to be paying those processing fees on the store. Again, it's not necessarily as dynamic as Shopify, but if you're looking to save money, Square can be a great option for an online store, and they do also have the point of sale systems. You can also run even payroll, email marketing. Now, some of these are additional add-on costs that you do have to factor in, but if you just want to set up like an online store and start being able to process payments online, you can get started completely for free with Square, which is why they're at the top of this list, because again, that just makes it so much more accessible for a lot of people who are just a brand new beginner, even just looking to get started. And they have a lot of other additional ancillary tools that you can add on to your Square account and other types of products and services that you might want to add on in the future as you grow, scale your business, or maybe if you just find that maybe you need other types of points of connection, maybe booking appointments or things like that. A lot of variety of different types of services that Square does offer within their product suite that you can use for your business. Again, go ahead and check out the links below, but Square is at that number one spot. Moving in at number 2, we have Squarespace. Now, Squarespace is a little bit different from Square. Again, they are not actually at all the same company. I get maybe there's some point of confusion there because they have the name Square in their name. Squarespace is a completely separate company, completely different. Now, Squarespace is primarily focused around people looking to build a really sleek, designed, and templated website. Their websites do look a lot better than Square, in my opinion. So if you're really, heavy on the website design side of things, especially when you were looking maybe at Shopify and comparing them to other options out there, Squarespace definitely hits it really well on the website design side of things, a lot more so than Square, in my opinion. Square is not as sleek in terms of the design compared to Squarespace's website design capabilities and the templates that Squarespace does have to offer. Now, they do also allow you to build out an online store as well. Now, you can build out like a restaurant site, you could build out services, portfolio. There's a lot of different types of templates that you can also even do courses and memberships on here. So you do have a wide variety of different types of website templates that you can use within Squarespace to get your website going. Again, they are more catered to websites. They don't really have the whole point of sale side of things. So if you need those physical, like if you are a brick and mortar business and you need the point of sale hardware, then maybe go with Square, or even still considering Shopify potentially. But if you just need the website, then Squarespace could be a really good option for you. Now, they do also come with a monthly fee. That is something else worth considering in terms of their pricing. So you do have to consider that when you are looking at Squarespace. It's not as, cheap necessarily compared to the overall pricing that comes with something like Square. Square's a bit cheaper to get started, but again, you sort of get what you pay for when you're comparing what each of them have to offer in terms of their product offering. Now, with Squarespace, as you can see, the pricing is a monthly fee. They do have a 14-day free trial that you can get started with. They do also offer monthly or annual plans. They are more comparable to Shopify when it comes to the actual pricing, but their personal plan is pretty decent. Now, if you are going to be selling products, you will at least need the business plan, and at that point, it is only slightly cheaper than Shopify, so that is something worth considering there if you do need to sell products. So, and depending on the transaction fees, it might make more sense to go with the Commerce Basic, and then you're essentially spending almost the same amount of money. Again, this pricing is accurate as in the making of today's video. Be sure to check out all the company's pricing pages to get the most realistic and up-to-date pricing. Always want to kind of just give that little bit of disclaimer there as well for checking out pricing pages, but they do have a free 14-day trial, so you can get started with Squarespace for free for 14 days. And then it is that monthly fee. Now, if you just need a regular website, you can actually save money with the personal plan. And you can still send invoices out. So and you could do that for free. So that is nice if you're just needing to send invoices on more of a personal website. If you do need the full online store, you're likely going to either need the business or the commerce plan, given the ability to accept payments as like a regular online store, if that's really what you're looking for out of a website, and especially if you're coming from Shopify trying to look for maybe a good alternative. Moving in next in this list, we have Wix. Now, Wix is fairly similar in terms of their overall website design elements, although they have really built out a nice drag and drop builder that is pretty comparable to Shopify in terms of the overall designs that you can build with it within Wix and being able to customize it. They do also have some AI tools for building out your website design, and they do definitely cater a bit more to online stores, even more so than Squarespace in terms of the way that Wix operates and in terms of their overall pricing model. They do also have SEO in mind as another nice benefit and perk within Wix. So again, if you need an e-commerce store, you can do the e-commerce side of things with Wix. You can also just go for a blog if you don't necessarily need to be able to sell physical products online or to sell any type of product online. If you don't need the e-commerce side of things, then Wix could be another good option for you because you kind of have the best of both. You can also do scheduling. You can set up a portfolio with them. I get Shopify's really catered specifically to e-commerce and selling things on an online store. So if you need e-commerce, Wix does have that available. But again, you don't necessarily need that in the pricing plan. And that's something a lot of people may get confused about when they're looking at different website builders and store builders in general. It's like, if you don't need e-commerce and you're looking at Shopify, there's a lot of other options out there where you can save a lot of money by not necessarily needing the whole online store element attached to your website really, if you need it, that's where Shopify sort of fits its best place in the marketplace for an online store. But if you don't necessarily need that, again, these options in this video, there's a lot of other alternatives out there that you can sort of piecemeal and pick like what you actually need for your website. Now with Wix, in terms of their pricing plans, it is a bit more, a bit more different options out there. Again, I would highly advise you to check out each of these companies to get realistic and up-to-date pricing, as well as, digging through exactly what you may need for your business exactly, in terms of like some of the collaborator benefits. As you can see here, you have collaborator limitations, some of the marketing suites and things. You're not going to be digging too deep into that. One thing to consider here, at least with Wix, is it is actually a little bit more money with their standard e-commerce. If you do the basic e-commerce, it's essentially the same price as Shopify, but you might come to find that you actually like Wix's website builder just better. So that's something else to consider. They do also have a free trial, so you can get started for free. You can also build out a free Wix website as well. Without it's not going to be a branded domain, so that is something worth considering if you do want to build out a free website. If you do want your own branded domain, you do need to pay for a Wix premium plan, so that is something worth considering if you're maybe wanting to test them out. You can at least test the waters out with a trial with them. Again, links are down below if you do want to also check out Wix. You might find that you like their website builder better. It just depends on sort of what your personal preferences are in terms of how you like to design your website, build things out. As you can see, there are a lot of good templates that they do sort of have that you can work with. So again, Wix is another great option. Moving on, next in this list, we do have Big Cartel. Now, Big Cartel, I have been mentioning for a while on the channel because they are a great option for getting started completely for free. They do have plans starting for free. And again, as you can see here, you read that right. We're not just talking about a free trial. They do have the ability for you to open an online store completely for free. Now, it is basics to sell online and in person, and we'll get into the specifics in just a moment as far as what that looks like. They do also have a platinum and diamond plan for a little bit more money. You can also save money on their annual plan. But essentially, you can build out a very basic online store. So this is one of the shop examples. For example, here, as you can see, maybe some sort of artist, and boom, powered by Big Cartel. And this is sort of what the basic product page looks like. People can go through and purchase products from your store, and it's completely free to do so. Now, it is a lot more basic than some of the other companies I mentioned, such as Squarespace and Wix, especially in terms of the design side of things, or even Square is, I guess more aligned with Big Cartel in terms of the overall website design templates, because again, it is another free option. So Big Cartel kind of fits more similarly compared to Square in terms of their online store capabilities. Squarespace and Wix really kind of are more of direct Shopify competitors when it comes to overall design elements and building out your store and sort of the look and feel that you can get. But Big Cartel can be a great budget option. Now, in terms of the overall plans, now the free plan, to consider it, you do have to know that it is a 5 product listing limit and 1 image per product on that completely forever free plan. So there are limitations, obviously, you would expect with a completely free plan. You do have the 5 product listings. You don't necessarily have the same limitations with Square, but Square is a lot more of a complicated back-end system setup. Just in terms of the way that they operate, in terms of all the different types of software products that they offer within the Square wheelhouse. With Big Cartel is a lot simpler. If you just need something simple and you just need something basic and simple, Big Cartel is probably the best. If you just want something very easy to use, very basic and simple, and over time, if you do want to list more products, you can also do that, at their different monthly rates or their annual rates. You can save 20% off. With their platinum and diamond plans. So the gold plan is completely free. So I figured I'd have to mention them in this video just because, you can also even import products from Etsy, Squarespace, and Shopify. So maybe if you're leaving Shopify and you're looking for an alternative in this video, Big Cartel could be a good option there too, because you can import your products directly from Shopify and you can add them here completely for free. Now, you're not going to have all the same kind of app capabilities, all the same types of fancy schmancy stuff that you might expect with even some of the other companies mentioned in this video, or especially Shopify. But if you want something very basic and cheap, and easy to understand, big Cartel might be a great option for you. Moving on, next in this list, we have Shift4Shop. Now, Shift4Shop is primarily known for, again, processing payments and point-of-sale systems for, essentially in-person businesses. I've seen a lot of restaurants maybe use Shift4Shop for processing payments in their business, but they do also have a e-commerce solution, which is the Shift4Shop specifically. Again, the processing payments is more so just like Shift4, but within Shift4Shop, you can get their e-commerce solution. Now, one of the main benefits here with their e-commerce software is that it can be completely free for you to actually use in your business if you are processing a minimum of $1,000 processed per month. Now, I believe that this minimum used to be $500. It's now $1,000. Might change again in the future. If you aren't processing that, then it is going to be $39 a month starting at, but it can be completely free, and it is a good option if you're looking for a more enterprise level plan. Again, they offer it here as an unlimited enterprise grade plan for $0 with Shift4. And they are a great option with lots of free themes, and they have, a high level website management, a lot more high level than maybe Square or Big Cartel. The nice thing with Shift4 and Shift4Shop is they are more competitive with Shopify at that enterprise level. Really even more so than Squarespace and Wix, honestly. At the enterprise level, you really do need sort of like another layer of e-commerce in terms of the overall, processing such high transactions and really processing a lot of payments through a platform, and in terms of the overall website design. Again, so that is something worth considering. Also, security side of things, their overall end-to-end payment setup with Shift4 and PayPal. So you do have support for processing a variety of different types of payments, and they have their e-commerce software here. Again, a lot of big businesses do use Shift4 and Shift4Shop for processing payments. So it does, and building out their total online store. As you can see, you can kind of get an idea of sort of like the overall website design. There are quite a bit of different options. It's maybe not necessarily, it's depending on the type of store that you're building. It might be easier for you to use like the sort of drag and drop setup with like Squarespace or Wix in terms of their actual builders. But if you do want a fully fledged enterprise level e-commerce store, then Shift4Shop might be a good option for you. I would say that more compares to almost like the Shopify Plus side of things, or even some of the more advanced Shopify plans. That's where Shift4Shop kind of compares better to. Again, not necessarily the best for brand new beginners or people on a super low budget, but if you do have a bit of a budget, again, as you can see here, other shop platforms like Shopify, they're talking about up to $299 a month or $2,000 a month for their enterprise plans. They're taking a direct shot at Shopify there in terms of Shopify's more expensive plans and saying like, hey, we can give you that for free if you're processing at least $1,000 per month. So if you are processing that amount in your store and you're looking to migrate, Shift4Shop could be a good alternative and competitor solution for you. Again, it's not necessarily, they don't have the same type of app store build out that Shopify has. They don't necessarily have the same exact sort of design elements that you can do. But if you do want a good option that can handle high volume and can build something that is going to be pretty dynamic. As you can see here, they also have the whole suite of inventory management, marketing. Then Shift4Shop could be a good solution for you. Moving in, last but not least, we have WooCommerce. Now, WooCommerce has sort of kind of taken the back burner for a while in terms of a e-commerce solution, just because it is a little bit more on you for actually managing the e-commerce store side of things. Now, to explain, WooCommerce is just a plugin that is added to a WordPress-based. So it is a WordPress-based e-commerce platform. You do need a WordPress store or WordPress website to build a WooCommerce store. So just want to make that quick, is that you do need an actual WordPress website. You can do that with, a variety of different types of hosting companies like Bluehost. I do have links down below if you do want to sign up with them. But WooCommerce is another e-commerce platform. They do have templates. They have gotten a lot better over the years in terms of the overall design elements. You do have a lot of good designs and templates that you can use. I mean, as you can see here, even Scrub Daddy does use WooCommerce. So a lot of popular brands and businesses do use WooCommerce. It is just a bit more on you to manage the actual website side of things, because it is a self-hosted like WordPress website that you're adding a WooCommerce store to. So it is up to you to update the plugins, update a variety of different parts of your website in terms of security and all those kind of things. So it is a much cheaper solution to use WooCommerce because it is a free plugin. You do just need a WordPress hosted website to add the WooCommerce plugin, which is again a free plugin that you add to your WordPress website to make it a WooCommerce store, to add the actual cart functionality and to be able to add those products to your store. So it is nice. Again, as you can see here, no other e-commerce platform allows people to start for free and grow their store. They don't charge you, a portion of your profits. So there are some nice benefits with using WooCommerce. It is just a little bit more on you to manage it in terms of updating things and keeping things working. But if you are fine with managing your website and you're managing your business, WooCommerce can be a very good scalable solution. They are probably the best for SEO because it is a WordPress website at its core, with the WooCommerce plugin added to your WordPress website. So they can be good. They are they do maybe require a little bit more tech savviness in terms of building out your website compared to some of the other options, especially mentioned in this video, but they are very dynamic. There's lots of other plugins you can add. They are probably the second most popular e-commerce platform, if actually not number one, really up there with Shopify. But it is just a little bit more complicated, a bit of a learning curve to use WooCommerce compared to some of the other options I mentioned in this video. So it's not necessarily the best for beginners, but it can be another good option, again, for high volume stores, much more customization, and you actually own the site, so you don't necessarily have to worry about some of the back-end management side of things in terms of the fact that your pricing is based on where you're hosting your website, not necessarily just beholden to whatever Shopify wants to charge or whatever Wix or Squarespace or any of the other companies I mentioned. Really, you have a little bit more flexibility in terms of where you want to host your website because it is an open source platform. And you can host your website wherever you want with WooCommerce. So that's another nice perk of WooCommerce, but I figured I'd mention them later in this video just because it's not necessarily as simple or easy for most people. It's kind of similar to like Shift4Shop, in terms of it's maybe better for higher level businesses and maybe not necessarily the best for beginners who are just looking for a super basic website. WooCommerce does have a little bit of a learning curve, but they can be really good for those higher level businesses looking to scale. And in the long run, you can build a nice online store with WooCommerce. So again, guys, I hope you found this video helpful, again, of 6 of the best Shopify alternatives and competitors. Again, if you do want to check out any of the companies mentioned in this list, you can go and check out those links down below in the video description. Again, some of which are affiliate links, which is a great way to help out and support the channel. And if you guys enjoyed this video, found it helpful, then be sure to smash that like button, hit the subscribe button as well, and notification bell so you're notified whenever I upload a new video. But anyway, guys, that's all for today's video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.